Hello everyone, happy Easter. Welcome to the Boss Motion. This channel will teach you how to edit in just 10 minutes. On today's episode, we'll be talking about Davinci Resolve system. We'll look through the interface, we'll teach you how to import your visuals, and after that, we'll teach you how to cut, edit, and export. Yay! So let's go to the editing suite. Hello and welcome back to my screen. So now I'm going to be starting up the Davinci Resolve 16.2. For those of you that are yet to download it, I will drop the website down below the video comment. So let's head straight and open Davinci Resolve 16. So that's it. So we'll wait for it to load. When you open Davinci Resolve system for the first time, it's going to show you this kind of layout. So what you're going to do next is to create a new project. So what you need to do is click on the new project icon right below the screen. Name your project whatever kind of name you want to name it. You can name it the project you're working on, maybe a birthday party or a wedding or whatever it is. You can name it so that you'll be able to identify your project properly. So now let's rename this project and call it Davinci Resolve Training. So we'll go ahead and create a new project. So when you create a new project for the first time, it's going to take you to, let's go back to the media page. It's going to take you to this page. So when you get to this page, the first thing you need to do is to locate where your rushes are or how to import your rushes. But before then, let me just take you through the interface. As you can see, this is where it's going to show you the drives installed in your system, be it an external hard drive or internal hard drive, or your folder inside your system. Then on the top corner, you can see it is written as your media storage. Then these are the clone tool. We'll get to that later on. But what is important for us now is to hit straight and start editing. So this is your media storage. So as soon as you open it, it's going to take you to this place. But before you start uploading, you need to make sure your project settings is properly organized. And for this project, I'm going to be using a full HD format at 24 frames per second. So how to change your project settings, you will go right straight to this wheel right at the extreme end of your screen. You click it, it show you that's your project settings. Here, this is the resolution I want and it's okay. So your pixel ratio is square. The timeline's frame rate is also 24 frames per second. This is exactly what I want. There are cases that you want to use 30 frames per second or 60 frames per second. It's advisable for you to come over to your project setting, try to modify it to the kind of frame rate and the timeline resolution you want to edit your project. Then also, if you are in the West Africa or the Middle East, you want to use PAL, but in the American continent, you want to use NTSC. For this tutorial, I'll be using PAL. So let's head straight to it. So since there's nothing for us to change, settings are okay for me, so I'll just click cancel. But in the case you're trying to modify it, so it will tell you to save, so you have to save. So right now I'm clicking cancel. So right now we're ready and set to import our file. This is my external hard drive. So when I click on it, my file is located inside my Fred vlogging. I'll click on it again, double click on it. So when I double click on it, it's going to show me what is inside that folder. What I want to copy is the training rushes. So as soon as I see the training rushes, I click on it and then drag to my media pool. My media pool is where I'm going to be using to access all my files while editing. It's very important for you to be very well organized in order for you to edit smoothly and swiftly. You drop it right here. So it's going to ask me some few questions, a different frame rate than the current project. So I have some files inside the project that was shot in 60 frames per second, but no need to worry because for this particular project, I want to use 24 frames per second. So let's go ahead and start. Would you like to change your timeline frame rate and video format to match? So no, I won't change my timeline frame rate. I'll say don't change. So you can see these are the two files inside the training rushes. After importing your file, you can easily now head straight to the cut. This is the cut session. I put my arrow just right above it. You can see it's showing cut. So when I click on cut, I go to the cut session. This is where I'm going to cut my visuals. Davinci Resolve have made it easy for you that this session actually focuses on just cutting your visuals, nothing more. It makes it easy for you to cut your visuals fast and easily. So no matter how long, how lengthy the visual is, it's going to fit into the screen so that you can see your visuals on your timeline properly. Before we do that, I would like to create a folder for this file. When I click on this arrow above, you say add a bin. So this bin helped me to create folders. So I would like to create a folder for this file. When I create a folder, I can call it brushes. So when I call it brushes, I can now drag my file and put right inside for easy identification that those are my brushes that I'm working with. So I can double click on it, I can see these visuals inside. Next thing I'm going to do is to drop the visual in the timeline. So the first thing I'm going to do is to just drag and drop it on the timeline. So you can see a track has been created. So what I need to do now is to cut these visuals the way I want it to be. And at the same time, you can also preview on your visual before importing it to the timeline. By the time you just put your cursor through, you can see it's previewing your visuals just right away. So it's that easy. You can see the visual fits just into the screen, no matter how long or wide it is the first time. And then the second timeline really shows you accurately. Maybe you want to cut closely on a particular section. As soon as I take the next visual, I can easily drop it at the end of the other visual on the top timeline. You can see it's going to add it right away. You can go ahead and adjust your visual just the way you want it. This is how to cut. So I can pick another place, press my command B, go to another place, press my command B. But for proper editing, and I don't want us to use shortcuts, let's go to the edit panel. So the edit panel brings you an opportunity to have a close way of editing your visuals. The editing panel is very much more useful than the cut panel, because the cut panel there are limited things you can do there, but the editing panel enables you to take advantage of more tools. So you can click on this blade right here. This blade, when you click on it, you will have the blade tool already enabled. So if you put your blade icon right close to the visual on the screen, on the visual there, so you can pick a particular point and then cut. When you cut, you can see you've cut the visual, but you've not cut the audio. Unlike the cut panel, that's when you cut, everything just cuts. So that's also another difference. So you have a close way of modifying your visuals when using the editing panel. So from the media panel, we move to the cut panel. From the cut panel, we move to the editing panel. Right away, I've cut out some particular section of the visual. So I'll delete the parts that I'm not interested in. I'll go back, click on the selection tool, then highlight the part that I don't want and delete. I'm able to cut out these visuals. I'm going to put the in. So if you press your I on your keyboard, it's going to actually create export bar. When you click your in, you can see it's no longer in that range. So when I click my I means in, then O means out. So you can see I'm able to select this particular place as my render area. So this is the area I'm going to be focusing on. If you want to expand your timeline, you can easily press your command plus or command minus. So that way you'll be able to expand your timeline and see your visuals properly, or command minus. Then another thing that is important is how to add transitions. So for instance, I want it to have a smooth dissolve from one visual to the other. I can easily go to toolbox. Under the toolbox, I can access the video transition. So the video transition, for this, I'm just going to be putting some simple dissolve or addictive dissolve or blood dissolve just to show you how transition works. So I'm going to click on this or cross dissolve, or maybe let me pick blood dissolve. So when I put it in between a clip, you will see it will dissolve, blood dissolve from one to another. So let me put cross dissolve here, so you see it dissolve right here. You can see it will have a different feel. So if I put another dissolve here, there's another type, you will see That's a deep to color dissolve, so it's going to give it a different feel. This tool is very important, snapping tool. If it's not activated, for instance, if you move a visual, it won't easily snap. But if you click on it, it's going to snap. You can see it's snapping. So it easily give you that snapping so that you won't chop off a part of the visual. You can see if you don't do it properly, you can see it has chopped up a particular part of the visual. So what I need to do now is to Control Z and undo. So Control Z is for undo, or Command Z for mark. So I'm going to redo the transition there, Shift Command Z. So that's it. So I've done it. So the next thing we're going to do now, we're going to head straight to export. So this is where you export your visual. What we need to do now is to name our visual that we just finished cutting. So I can call it Davinci Resolve training. I can also browse a location that I want the file to be kept. When I click on browse, it's going to open a panel for me. So the default area Davinci Resolve will want to drop your file is on the movie folder. That's for Mac, and I think same goes for Windows system too. For me, I normally drop my files inside my external hard drive because it's a fast hard drive. So I'll put it in export. So I'll just drop it and call it Davinci Resolve training. You can see it has named it Davinci Resolve training, which I've tagged it already before opening this panel. So it's going to put it right there. So that's the location where my file is going to be. Is it going to do single rendering or individual clips? For this, we're just going to stick to the single clip edit. We go straight, so it's quite okay, quick time. So you can decide to export in MP4, which the codec is to choose H.264. So for instance, we're going to shoot .mov. The file is going to be very, very huge, but just because we're just doing just a brief training on how to cut, edit, and export. So this is what we're going to be using. We'll leave everything. Remember, we use the frame rate of 24 frames, and that's it. I think we're good to export. We add it to render queue. Click on render queue and make sure this timeline highlights the beginning and the end. If you see my arrow, I'm talking about this place. Make sure you press in and out from the beginning of the clip to the ending of the clip. Click out. So make sure you do that. So as soon as you've done that, just hit hard to render queue. When you hit hard to render queue, it's going to take you straight to the render queue panel. Your file that you want to render is right here now, and you've chosen the location that is going to drop. So as soon as we hit start render, it's going to start rendering the file, and that's it. Your file is ready. In case you've forgotten where you kept the file, you don't know where it is, right click and say reveal in media storage or reveal in finder. So it's going to show you where your file is located in case you've forgotten where you've put it. So here's it inside the exports folder, and this is our video. So that's it on how to edit on Davinci Resolve 16.2. Hope you had a wonderful time watching that tutorial. In case you enjoyed it, please feel free to subscribe to the channel and click on the notification button. Until I come your way next time, stay safe, be happy, bye-bye.